Hewat in 1924 that justice must not only be done, but should manifestly and undoubtedly be seen to be done. While judgment was given in this petition, it cannot be said by many to have been seen to be done by the constant unanimous strictures placed on the petitioner in laying out his case. I followed the proceedings of this petition and listened to the testimony of our General Secretary, Johnson Adom Ketia, from beginning to end. I'm quite alarmed at the mutilation of his testimony in the Supreme Court ruling. Indeed, the ruling I heard today virtually makes our witness, Johnson Adom Ketia, appear like the star witness of the first and second respondents. Many answers of his testimony in cross-examination were taken out of context to create the basis for the dismissal of our election petition. At the appropriate time, the legal team will come out with detailed comments on today's judgment. Ladies and gentlemen, this case will go into the Ghana Law Reports for the future, and academics and students of law alike will clearly find befuddling the internal contradictions in our jurisprudence. The Supreme Court has given its verdict, but the national debate on the dismal state of our democracy and the increasing weakness of our state institutions has only just begun. It is time we all come together to confront those who seek to destroy the very democratic system that brought them into office. It is our patriotic duty to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, it bears reiterating that our grievances with the conduct of the 2020 elections was not limited to just the presidential elections. Doubts about the Commission's commitment to fairness and transparency have lingered much longer than the duration of this petition. The doubts have attended their every action, and rightly so, because of their posturing and sometimes duplicitous conduct. As I've alluded to in the past, the current leadership of the Commission was installed after the politically motivated removal of the previous Commission. Since then, every step they have taken has appeared to be calculated at ensuring the retention of the appointing authority in power. Aside from the compilation of a new register in the midst of a pandemic, one that many civil society organizations, political and governance experts insist was more procurement-minded than needs-based, the time-tested process of consultation and dialogue among stakeholders through the Inter-Party Advisory Committee was supplanted by unilateralism. This has not boded well for harmonious relationship with stakeholders. Compared to the two previous leaderships of the Commission, what we have now does not meet even the minimum requirement of neutrality and non-partisanship. And these are two essential principles for consolidating our democracy. Today, the much touted independence of our Electoral Commission exists only in name. This should give all Ghanaians cause for worry. Today, we still have, as a member of the Commission, somebody who publicly stated that the political party which I led into the December 2020 elections is an existential threat to Ghana's democracy. And yet this same Commission member presided over an election in which a party he claimed is an existential threat to Ghana's democracy participated. In the parliamentary elections, clearly NDC won the majority of seats. However, through devious manipulations and connivance by officials of the Electoral Commission, a number of these seats were illegally declared for the MPP. In some instances, the manipulation was so glaring and brazen that a simple intervention by the leadership of the Electoral Commission, as has been done by previous commissioners, could have addressed the issues and righted the wrongs in order to make court actions completely unnecessary. Therefore, it is not surprising that international election observers who attended on the last election identified collation and tallying of results as one of the challenges of our 2020 election. The posture and approach of this current Electoral Commission does not inspire confidence that is needed to preside over any transparent, free, and fair election. Indeed, this commission has absolutely no reason to continue to remain in office. This is because the Electoral Commission must remain a neutral arbiter and organizer of elections. The Electoral Commission must not have a vested interest in the dubious victory of one party over another. The loyalty of the Electoral Commission must be to the people of Ghana and the Constitution from which it derives its mandate, and not the president or party under whose tenure the leadership is appointed. Immediate reforms reflecting the long-standing image and reputation of our Electoral Commission as one of the finest and most credible on the continent, and indeed in the world, must be one of the focuses of public advocacy if future elections are to be devoid of needless tensions and anxiety. My brothers and sisters, we cannot forget the burning issue of the deliberate exclusion of the good people of Central Kofi, Akpafu, Likpe, and Lolobi Sao from the parliamentary elections of 2020. This constitutes perhaps the gravest injustice of the 2020 elections, perhaps even greater than the election petition. It can easily fit into the worst forms of electoral trickery ever witnessed in our nation's history. Despite the shenanigans employed by the conspirators in this issue, it is abundantly clear that the rights of the people of South to vote was intentionally violated as part of a move to ensure the predetermined election outcome of a particular parliamentary constituency. This represents unparalleled abuse of power by both the government and its handmaiden, the Electoral Commission, to influence the outcome of the parliamentary election in that constituency. It is even more staggering that no one has stepped forward to take responsibility for this unjustifiable action, nor indicated any clear remedy for the harm that has been caused the good people of Sao. We cannot, as a people, countenance this kind of gerrymandering and chicanery in our politics. We must with one accord demand immediate resolution of the impasse in the Sao area and take urgent steps to afford the people their right to vote and be represented in Ghana's parliament. My brothers and sisters, we entered the 2020 elections against an incumbent that was determined to abuse power and misuse state resources and institutions to achieve an electoral victory. The run-up to the election and some of the process involved were characterized by intimidation and harassment from state security agents and others loyal to the current regime. Selective deployment of the military was used as a tool to instill fear in some of our citizens to dissuade them from taking part in the voter registration exercise and other processes of the elections. Others were falsely branded as foreigners and their citizenship called into question unjustly. An abhorrent nation-wrecking prejudice which has been directed especially against certain ethnic groups of this country and has continued till date and has only recently been visited crudely on our Auditor General, Daniel Yao Domelevo. In the last election, unprecedented levels of state funds and resources were doled out by the ruling party and unprovoked deadly violence inflicted on our citizens in several circumstances. In the process, 8 of our compatriots were murdered in cold blood and several others were maimed during the process of the elections. We have designated these compatriots whose blood was shed just because they sought to participate in what is purely a civil exercise as martyrs of democracy, to whom we shall dedicate an appropriate monument when the time comes. I hope we can count on all well-meaning Ghanaians to support our efforts to bring the perpetrators of these murders to justice. Never must a government be allowed to turn the simple process of an election into a bloodbath. Never must impunity of this magnitude be allowed to fester in our democracy. Our independence and the current democracy we enjoy were fought for and attained through the sacrifice and blood of our founding fathers, mothers, and our compatriots. Never must we accept convenience over principle. I take this opportunity to express my deep-seated appreciation to our lawyers, led by the colossus of a legal mind, Chachu Chikata, for a valiant fight which has won the admiration of many. Against considerable odds, they persisted and drove home our point in a manner that convinced all fair-minded observers the just cause we had embarked on. I express similar gratitude to all who played diverse roles in putting our case together. I salute our three key witnesses, our General Secretary, Johnson Asiedun Ketia, Dr. Michael Pesa-White, and Rojo Metal Nunu, for helping to unravel a part of the untold story of the flawed 2020 elections. I also wish to place on record that the services rendered to me by my legal team in this petition was gratis, meaning free of charge. We may not have been successful, but your hard work and sacrifice will not go unheralded when the full story of the 2020 election petition is told. I'm very much aware that there are millions watching and listening to me who are also disappointed at the outcome of this case. For those millions like myself who held out hope that our democracy would be advanced by the process and outcome of this petition, you must be disappointed. But I encourage you to hold your heads up high and channel your disappointment into hard work that will ensure that come the next election, we'll achieve a truly transparent and fair election, which all of us as Ghanaians can be proud of. To all my compatriots and supporters, we may have lost the temporary battle of the 2020 election and the petition that has followed. But the larger struggle to create a society that lives up to our national motto of freedom and justice still rages on. It is a struggle that requires even more commitment than before, and it is one that we will not shirk from until our patriotic aim is achieved. To the millions of NDC supporters who have stood by me, my running mate, Professor Nana Jenopokwa Jimang, our national chairman, our general secretary, our campaign chairman, functional executive committee members, national executive committee members, our parliamentary candidates, our sponsors who were very generous to us during the campaign, and all activists and supporters who gave us their all and all their efforts in the hope that we'll win and form the next government to save our nation and meet your aspirations. I say to you, do not despair at this outcome. And I repeat, do not despair. Never, ever lose hope. We achieved an impressive showing in the last election. And despite the intimidation, the obscene abuse of incumbency advantage, and the massive use of state funds and resources, we can be proud that we gave it our best. Our achievement has become a stepping stone on which the NDC can build to secure victory in the next elections. The NDC will survive and grow from strength to strength. The sun may have set on our hopes for the just ended election today, but it will rise again tomorrow, and it will illuminate our paths to a better outcome the next time round. To the Council of Elders, members of the National Executive Committee of the NDC, the Functional Executive Election 2020 campaign team, my staff, party executives at all levels, volunteers, polling agents, and all who played roles in our campaign, no matter how small, I say I thank you from the bottom of my heart. The NDC will always remain the party of the people. The party was established to empower the people of Ghana to be the architects of their own destiny. We blaze the trail for participatory democracy, and I'm confident that out of the ashes of this legal setback, we will mobilize and rekindle the struggle for a better democratic Ghana. We will be law-abiding, and we will do nothing to compromise the stability of this country. We will, however, continue to be the voice of the voiceless, and will not be distracted from our goal of demanding justice and fairness for the people of Ghana at all times. Neither will we surrender or fail to champion the rights of our people to enjoy the fundamental freedoms guaranteed under our Constitution. To the over 6 million Ghanaians who entrusted me with their votes, I cannot thank you enough for this honor done me. I value your vote so much. It reflects the confidence you have in our ideology, in our ethos, and most importantly, in the 2020 People's Manifesto that we presented to this nation. Our party has proven to be the most viable path to a rapid socio-economic development of our nation. I can assure you that even though this was not the outcome we expected, I'm sure your votes will spur us on to victory in the future. I also wish to acknowledge and commend the courage and commitment of civil society organizations, religious groups, journalists, and individuals who have dedicated their lives to speaking truth to power, irrespective of which individual or party sits at the Flagstaff House. While in office, my administration tolerated your views even when we disagreed with them. In similar vein, we encourage you to continue to hold all governments accountable as you have done in the past, for it is your right to do so. My brothers and sisters, I've had a relatively long and fulfilling journey in public life and service, during which I've had the privilege to serve in various capacities. I've had my ups and downs like all human beings, but I have at all times promoted unity and inclusion and not division wherever I've been. And I've always placed the interest and well-being of Ghana first. I'll continue to do the same even at this moment and beyond. My brothers and sisters, we have only one nation, Ghana, and we must work together to ensure the progress and growth of our dear nation. We can only do this if we ensure equality, freedom, and justice for all our citizens. Long live the NDC, long live Ghana. I thank you all for your kind attention, and may God continue to bless our homeland, Ghana. Thank you very much.
Adom FM pese me bom amaso news am be kan 12 o'clock no and obi kan 6 o'clock anwumere and na de mo be kan 6 o'clock anwumere no and na obi kan awia 12 o'clock mu ye too much mo say ba bia Adom de mo be ko so ada so ye number 1 sa ye ja mu tie o ye be tie mu a ji de wia sia sei
Adom 106.3 Isha 104.5 your affiliate stations of Memuni Amahodro so nti former president anaso mampani dada John Dramani Mahama awono ene kwadubofo ananse nipa wo kyekere eye asem kase fa abato eto nanu adam fie pinu ne aduo no eho nsem ede koto court ne court abu awie no no aba be kyere ni nsemu nasem no obo ne tofa wa kyerem se ewom se oman se court kase kasa aduro bi anka dem upewu mpo ekyekere nanso anyade one court no eye adwene ni chichiri kura ne se asem ni nyina so ene asem no ne fapem ankasa mpo ene eniama etoto chima ebo abato komisa ne dwumadie ho nanso court ni timi hwe nyame anim na o mama mi fa ne ho diye akontabu wo so obu kire ganafo a eto aba wantimi amua mi ahunu no kore pa wasem no nanso enei ene ahu no kore no a o gidie se dachi bia ne ne wo mu asua mra sa asem yi ababe ense na ho a wo behom na debi no wakenkan no no mo be kire ma kire wiase nyina se sa bere no court no asem a odiye no anhyeda ankoyie wakirem sa abato komisian ho sese de ehun ni kwakura se mo motena ho esanse asamanyosem adidi wontirim obo otirim po se eden ebeto aba amanyuko ba ku bi na wo se di nkonim eno so de ye fanya abato komisian adwuma sanse wo no akwakoye ntem ginafo entini kwa se ogina obi afa wakoso echiremu sene commission for wo ho ba kokra de obi na no eyi ne se aduasa ka se amanyokuo NDC a ono mampenda da John Dramani Mohammed di animu de kwa bato mo no wono mo ya kwa ye oman agegefo pa agese wono musuban ne oni ebi ehu ede mo oman nti se nipa wei eti abato otiri na se na manyokoi ejina mu bia na ne wankasa no obi ennumaduro emfama yafo wo chechire mu ama ne kokokosi se abato yi wo hwe abato mpasu ahodo eto aba wo so na ekame yesemu dodo na to aba de man ni si amanyoko bra hyebiafo nanso ekwantia a chese ye faso eko eye Kenya asase so no bi na abato komisa na fa so a wo chinchim ndi si amanyoko nsa ama eleyi hunu de yehunu ode abasobo ene ma ne mra nimfo yeru achachuchi kata ne wo mo eka ho kire se enkomodie no kura wo court no de na adwene ko so hu se duru ba bi yeru achachuchi kata etro anase kunchirei ebomu se nke betimi a ankatimuafo no wono ma hwatworo no ni nyankopon anim na fi wono ankasa so adwene mfan no wonfa mu asem no ema aloyafo a na eyi nsem na no kura ba akokaka se ha de nyanyame asem ne eka ha nso so ukokwoto a se ya ma tworo konkura ne ya ma Quran se no ena fadi nsie nti eyeden na asem mu no kura de mpie de ne de asim ye mu nyame din wachechire mu ama na kwakwa wie se enei empo ena ko a NDC so aye so obeji o menye fra hunyihiem no ekunumdie entimi ambem enam nipa bi nsa so a eden a achache e wo nafe obobo nipa to aba ebebro opipinsia ni nyina abaso afesu so no nipa ebo na chidom enamanyo ko mpanimfo ne wo mo a wo campaign team no ne ho keke ka ho nyina na waka asudi ase wo no efiti bra oba manyosemu ana sempo yese obedi dwuma ede asom ne man wa credit bebre no bibia nkabomu na ya wo pre ntinye nnei na obesi sansa asu no obekoso a apre nkabomu na obehye nipa dodo a ewo man mu a wono ye NDC fo ene wo mo so a wadwempa nyina se obekoso atai eye amanyoko NDC achi ono nim se nipa dodo na de NDC amanyoko no mo pre afa nsentwerefo ne nimako ansha baase a ebrano wono mo esi wombo eka nsem akese a etretre oman amamu akwan no omo nkoso a oso ono na ban bra su sei na nsemi bi ho a yekafa no onye kora nsoso na osuso msa abra ono omo nya adwene enso nei ukokasa na akwakọ yasem kese enso mo mani mu omabam omo nkoso nye sanse esefata so ono yesa wokon kan ya koduru eye Adom lebo asem a enra eto dwa yi so de kire se ne imusiekuo bi honom skura yetu ani te de esi omo so ani nyina no o kire se enye ade papa ebo man kan krunti yewra John Dramani Mahama ne nsema wode atudwa no na yebo moden na brepam ye dwudwa de aka ni nyina mu yebo no tofa na se court asema wode baaye ana sa temu wode baaye no o se eye enhyema wonom de nanso ono na dwene mu de one court no enya adwene
ahaya Adom 106.3 FM so yegusuwa gina court nsensam num na abra atemuafo atena dwamu Supreme Court nsem no de atemu no hwefo mo asepe ena lawyerfo agina mu edema Ghana mampani na nado danko akufu ado wachima piesie bema boada ene wonamfom saa kira no him eduku fita anu wotonyo aye yiwre ye yiwaye wo him no a wanamo tutu ya otutu edikosi yenyina ya Jubilee House na wode wansam koto Ghana mampani anim yanko ya Santo Elizabeth ho mampani aka Jubilee House hono obutuo na nsam o mo de beto nanimu no wo mu enkyere Eliza kwaba
ya ni obrim
amranim fo mo gina mu mampani no yesi o mo na mfom sa na Facebook live mo na mehwa bi koto ampa no him ni nsam mienu na ei kaki ne kitana na sede no
ne kasa fo a
no wo soro no Frank Davis nso ne diso no aje sa lawyer fo ni nyina na Eliza mo ba ya no nsam be no beto mampani animu
obi sesi arubisa asam no patene dia meka se ya kokom nkomodie no mo ne mampani ebediye na wo hwe na roni si ya guest work dia na tese wo yamrani fo gina mu de ma o mampani na ebro mampani dada Mahama court sama ya na ono ne ho ewo mu ntino wogina mu ema no court na ye say die si wo court ebesi na atemuafo di wo mu aye wa asam no ho ba ye no wo mutumi ne court na se na woni ni di nkomo echeche ni nyina mu bono amane ntina tia wane maka se mbabo mampani amane die e court ɛwɔ court ɛne deɛ ɛkɔwie yɛ na sɛdeɛ wɔkyerɛkyerɛ yɛ no ɛberɛ a wɔn ewura mu no na ahokeka ɛwɔ wɔn afrɛ neɛ deɛ wɔn de hyɛ ase no ɛyɛ Methodist hymn baako na wɔn ɛto aso ɛneɛ yɛbɛtwerɛ Ebenezer nyame yɛwayɛ ama yɛn kyɛ sɛ asɛmpapa bi amate oye ne nyinaa wɔn ɛde di asasa kɔsi sɛ wɔn epie mu ɛwɔ ɔmampanin ne ɔfis anim a ɛhɔ deɛ ɛkɔ no na nsɛmtwerɛfoɔ ntumi nwura mu bi na obi a ɔyɛ panin paa nso a wɔda adwumayɛfoɔ nyinaa no ɛwɔ abankɛse na yɛ maame chief of staff firma ɔkare ɛberɛ a wɔn edu ɛkwan n'ano no mu nso ɔbɛhyia wɔn a na ɔno nso ɛde asa ehyia wɔn a ɔkyerɛ n'anigye ɛwɔ mmaraeɛ a aba ɛwɔ saa kɔɔto nsɛm no ho na adwumayɛfoɔ nso a wɔn te alɔyafoɔ ne nka sɛ wɔwura mu a bopie no dodoɔ na nso ɛna na wɔde amuma nsɛm ɛma alɔyafoɔ no a lɔya akoto ampaw wɔdi wɔn anim Frank Davis afei yɛwura kwaku asifi ɛna ya ɔpɔn wɔn ne mmerɛdifoɔ paa ɔhwɛ mu a wɔn di emu akɔten na nkaefo no a wɔta yɛkyi no nyinaa wɔka ho ebi ɛkɔpie mu nti na saa ɛna ɛkɔɔyɛ
na wɔn bɛduru hɔ ne sɛdeɛ adwumayɛfoɔ hɔ hyia ɛdeɛ Facebook a mehwɛ live yɛtiefoɔ a mo nso mo tietie wɔn deɛ mommra mehwɛ biɛ wotim sɛ wɔnom abɔ wɔnom alɔyafoɔ ataadeɛ mu a na kyɛ sɛ wɔtete wɔn saa wɔbɛduru hɔ no na mmommetwe ne anigyeɛ hɔ no te sɛ ɔkyɛ wɔ hɔ no anuane wɔ hɔ dii nonom bi anaasɛ wei deɛ ɔbɛyɛ dede kakra na ɔde wɔne kyerɛ wɔn fie ahodoɔ mu kɔɛ
sɛdeɛ ɛkyerɛ no sɛ wɔn mu didi yɛ a obiri mintimi ɛnkyerɛ fansɛ mekan me sɛ kokoa mu nhyiamudie ɛna wɔn ne mampanin bɛdie nkyɛ bi a na kokoa mu hɔ no adidie ne anom ɛkɔ so ne nso yɛ amani nhuni mintimi ni ho adanseɛ
yɛmfa nsi biribi foforɔ bi aba a yɛbɛfrɛ ne no adi ho nkɔmmɔ yɛ asantoa Elizabeth wɔno mampanin aka kyɛ wɔna to nkra firi wɔbrɛ yɛn ne ne ɛna woteeɛ no
yɛnto akasɛba no so na yɛnkɔ yɛnim na yɛnkae wɔ sɛ nnwumakuo akɛseɛ bi ɔmada ma no akasɛbɔ yi yɛde ɛbrɛ mu nsɛm deɛ bi wɔ hɔ paa na ne kɔto nsɛnsɛm no awura tena nsɛm kaeɛ no nyinaa kɔ so nti wobɛndɛn Adom malakio deɛ malaria duro ɛtiri de gyegye wɔ ampakyɛ pɛ bi ne to aseɛ Adom natural tonic so bɛboa asamforo nipadua no mu ayi mu fin na afei wɔno mu ɔtɔ so a mu watumi adidi ama ho abaa na mogya awi mpo a ahyɛdema Adom natural man measure ene ne capsules mema duro ehyem na adwo ɛyɛ enumgu asesem papa mema yi ehyem na adwo de enye enti Adom natural man measure ene ne capsules ne be yesa adwuma no na fei wagina wona so akosi awieye ene wa ultimate wa wie bibia so still we funu no kra ultimate yes efunu we de nani abie Adom lady care capsules ne measure so eboa ma no papa na yefiri ho no unsa ya obi wa to de bia ultimate tine osisi mu na etwe kɔ fɔm to ase hɔ no ebi wa na eba akotodwuma na sɛ wona so na mmuro mu ana wona taboro no mpo ɛno ne sciatica no na wonim sɛ yepo bi a wabene wɔ sciatica no mu a 21st clinic wɔno mu ne tipen hwɛ enkra ha sei wokɔ ɛyɛ dɔme market hɔ no mu a abrosa kɛseɛ na heavy duty choba wɔ mu no mu no mo wɔ kumase so wo de fa ehwa overseas ɔmu gyina mo na so papa wɔbɛhwɛ tutu ase de ama wo time herbal mixture ɛna woyɛ adwuma kakra bi a no abrɛ ɛtɔ da bi a wotimu sɛ waa wedie no mu twetwew ebi wɔ kora na kyesɛ wakɔ test kra me aka kyɛn sɛ malaria basa time herbal mixture TIME wona wokoro no wonya bɔ pɛ wotimi de yi honam yawo nyinaa firi hɔ ɛntontom hawa ɛntwama ntontom ma ɔyareɛ ɛyɛ heavy insecticide spray wote aseɛ heavy insecticide spray ne call ekum tontom tafra ne mo amoa de confusion ba fie ne nyado ahodoɔ nyinaa MTN everywhere you go pacho kuta phone sisi na MTN na download my MTN app ko Google Play Store download my MTN app na App Store afi momo no ne ade ni nyina obetimi dia ya adwuma enya asem keto akra na MTN se yemawa so nte se eneyi ekwa bebre ho no mu a obetimi age wani na ne nyina so akoyie ade amawo ma MTN app no ene bia na untimi enko vendor bi so akwakoto credit ana se ho na akwakoto nemom se wotɔ ɛyɛ credit ɛwɔ MTN mobile money ne so a 100% bonus na on saka ona wokro no umpe wei na opɛde yi enapa mackerel ɛno ɛyɛ nsuom na mo ntos gu ho ɛna enapa sade nsuom na manwa a emu ɔde nsu gu ho ɛna afei so no yɛwɔ enapa chocolate drink ho enapa baked beans enapa soy sauce enapa niama no emu yɛ papa sardine bi ho no mu a wobebie so na nam ba ko pe bi na bie mu na nwan nko na ta ho na pa de ne nte saa ibi wo so a wo wi anwe ototwere so enye yie so ho san sardine ye ntontwere rof eti aton na pa ene ma ne bi agbebe heba hospital e wo so tuom last stop ene mo na soap ni mo na cream wedi ani uti na oda ni entide ebu anipa yo so bia ni ho ene o he obi atwa ba to social media utoma uti nipa mu saa no pe eye mo na soap ni mo na cream o de se me na ni dware no na de enku no enso ye den esra agbebe tonic wo dwa so dada agbebe fiba wo ho na agbebe bam ene ye so tuom last stop so ena ya sabia kase no esie Total Ghana the Trusty Club about toto do afọ ne taxi do afọ yemfie ho nyimo e na yesu eni adodode ne mfaso de e den a baabi beto ye fa ngo papa ye total baabi beto oire papa ye total nti utro udin na wo je card a una akro no yesu ye nyi kapre e wo ho Franco Trading Enterprise odum Ghana odum mobro na wodum ahiafo nyina wono no ana afafo papa de ba Ghana ha ene ho akade wo fon ani be pae wo charger ebe sai ana se mpope phone mo no chia say iPhone and say Samsung and Nokia they will pay to aton nyina be Franco Trading Enterprise and ye de nema be braka ho oba TV ubenya bi printer ubenya bi laptop any desktop afa mu so a mo pe eye home theater ni ade nyina bi Franco Trading Enterprise nkrapata ndoso obetimi ni digwa online ayako Google Play Store na download Franco Trading app no Try Steel Roofing Company Limited they just say na poundful and ebu asimu wa open chance papa Color Supreme Plus 1 dia board down so 20-year warranty battery ye so ton chance na ye kwakọ board down so ma free of charge umpe we na pede ye wo circular with self lock tiles IDT and IBR ni nyina chance mu asoto my 11 cemetery nkra so akwan ya so na adwuma ni tiwo ne mu yankra batan de do so pa ene ofa eburu kwan so a ye wo ho also faka so akwan so ho ukodru kuma so a ene sei yazifo ba bi omodan kase we wa henema kokoben ho ene ya bie yenkrabata kase pa eti hwe kira kwan ne mo wo afa yankon nsem no mu kakra omanfo be kaya ebe nansan nane nura nyina ba beto dwa sa bantie bia ne din de Adams Faruka obobo de ma Aduana Stars odne ka akotwa for posi ni bi so ma posi ni nato na nanom wonse do na eno akra no onu yesi ne kokot na nkwan koduru court won tam nti ene dai ene won mo sa akoko pie ye chese brekum circuit court na onkoduru won yesi abanti Adams Faruka ye fa no nkoto kukumu na yenye ne nsem no hwemu ye sanse nyina nkra ne mu ntete nkra ne na kasamafo ma judicial police ewo eyebono mantamu Joseph Akpalu ene enya ntobase a chirechire mu ensem ahodo a yakwa a yade abo abantie na chese license kura yeso ni bi ka wode na menso insurance yewu a chese nipa nso wode ka ne bo nso a wankwan kotene ni ahwe no na chese asem no aya asem kese pa yede agise nyame be ma branti yentie papa da nu asem wen
sisi anu ye wie nhwehwemu ye na hu charger yede aba court no ene say one careless and inconsiderate driving just or driver wanya hwe and apart from that no so negligence causing harm it sounds say wanya hwe ye ne nti no we pray obi ama obi afemu so and no change no esa the credo abon say accident yen nyira enim say e san betumi ato me yen nyira driver but accident ni si ye no when gina anhwe victim no ya ka no born sebio yen nyame mo but me wogidi and I say wogidi say so ogina no then call hospital nka doctor for so be your ma fam here
we ene ensem a Yera Akpalu a ono na ye judicial spokesperson ede ema bono mantam no ode atudwa na lawyer ni a wogina mu ma Adams Faruka bafa kutu ene echim se nyame adom a da court ahye so mra no mbeba no mabahwe so obenya bail ede ama football player na
prefer that one because the court no option say others can say prison custody or police custody. I mean the preference no any police custody because we say we say on tap so we on tap we hear medical attention. This is police it me I take care of. We say as usual we say the January this year obey interfere with the investigation. Of course, we deny that. Also, or a flight risk. And it is a one here or like so we don't know like is over there. Because no person will come to because I say when your contract baby is like is one here now we're getting that's not it. Because earlier on we are pretty said when you're flight risk, yeah, there we're gonna because on one the two among a call police station or police. And the Saka said, yeah, they are waiting me interfere because we're traffic and go traffic this. Yes, yes. So only licenses are only licenses. Only road, yeah, where this is only. It won't mean interfere with you. No, I didn't see here. So there were no witnesses. It will not be a witness or influence any witness. It's in the case of court to the court to
eti na je se bafo akoto ya mranim ni a wogina mama Adam so rekọbọbọ Edmediana Stars a ne kai akokum posini mennei wakodi nsensem e wo mransem e na wote ne nka no na nyame adoma match bo so de to so du nwotwe na asem no besa atran so bieme bekọ na yebesi biya re musu sanso abrem
yebekọ santimantem crossover obidi share for yamanfo so tie adwam na asantimantem de obo no nwumre yi wono so obomu edi amaye yeah, kwa santimantem dia na ne Bright Senior High School suku a eya ankorankora suku na nsha abanse na nso nkwada akọginim dia ho nyina atwa traso edomani a kire suapan hodo mu wonom ho ne ekro sha oba no wawie BC da no ya na se computer no etoto no papa so a ma ren ho e mane ha obebre achim kokrantumi also has Bright Senior High School oba company for waboabo akyerɛkyerɛfo ano mankoda no wo kyerɛm nim die mu oduro akwada bi ofo mu nsam bia ya to no sɛ de brodo atofo no mu no wabere ɛne ɛwokɔ a akade a de kyerɛ de mankoda hunu nyina bi wo ahohyɛ so pa discipline ho ti so ɔyɛ wofo amensuro oba no so de ne kɔ akae sɛ ho na yɛ boarding enye de izan so mpɛsɛ nkoda nyina behia no mo te ne ɔma sie nti baabi Absa Bank GCB Bank ananse Zenith Bank wo no kɔ form so ne bi wo no akɔfa na do ba no kɔ ho Grace Homeopathy Clinic nam homeopathy kwan so eboa ama yade a adokoro wo a ɛhawo sɛ yɛtipaye asikyire yade kokoram na ɛhawo senso ɛde ano odre 3D pa na odre ana typhoid na ɛhawo ni nyina mojaboro so wuduru hopɛ ona homeopathy kwan so bɛsa wo yade ama ho atɔ high sense wo se ne anioma no watete so to make up baabi o man kachi wo bia no obɛkɔ ne ateso de ama wo yanto mirika nkɔ na ofori amanfo de wo no wonfa emaye
Bibia ya program
obi maso mo wa santima ntima kroku maso mo say wa kan ya tim poano de enja sanwemu a na yegusu woni nyina and say ye verdict by efie Supreme Court mo say sem ye na ja yegusu di wa wo ya na edum na santima ntemu ade hye ene o mo so akasa pa efa verdict ho ensem wodo ne wo ma buru bi yegusu pa woni enje ensem a ebra Supreme Court e de rule ne ba bontin e chese se na ngasa de dure de azwanya e kan ye ma ndi sem ni kunu so no ensem wo
Yadiama Ofufo no kra wa asem no mu na megidi say omoda na di no.
I custom na my peacefully.
It's okay 100% and it's for MPP for Ghana for in Ashebi I never TV so. Ati dia ko bi obi ani trim and even Ghana for no kra nim say asam no enkosi aga fa so bi ani so. If say judges no mu nim de ana omude nipa hondo ni nyamsuro so na ye adwuma no ti no kra wa asem no mu na megidi say omoda na di no
in free time ama de call ye nyina ehu say enhodu water bibia ni mu a ebetimi ama say yanto aba no foforo
what about the court what the court no what's my call you say your call no court ni say mo dia so can dey no kra dia I don't know kin say dem the call ni no so no
the way Supreme Court rule abano ebema Ghana ni bia me amankasa the way mani aje
enti de abebia no oma ye ne ye oma I custom na my peacefully 4 years they just around the corner esabe baba esisia a meaning say nyame so be the president usaba bedi
eno dinano no ana just yes antimantem wadi shebia choma dwene efa ne Supreme Court ruling now, what about Twabontain? I must say some Yugusua, Eka Hosses, what is on my corner was the Akana, Yan Fabi Bianca will be on a Kodelu to Delu to Niamabia, Abu one ready Nemanina, ABC, Adom Pine, Emamadi Kasiebo free as antimatum group position 104.5 ABC. And you just saw the sheer of Fury for to make over to you.
Any you could tell me, yes, you are soon. Sir, I don't know.
Oman for a drink, and they said you're caught in Yakasa, you bet my wrong commentary be a person wrong. Nimum, one casent, you will be a more swan quanquan, yes. Order tema, but your mamma awake in from once and independent soup. Awake me now water, and no news to papa. One more, abribia to me say. More no more so come. Now working soon, no one to was yes on his way, you move in and I face so. So share packaging as well. It is a very inviting. One my working soon as well. Why are there will be walk my area Kulubu? What I say? A whole package. Tiano my working soon if you can support company limited. Now, all of our gentlemen have been here. Other tema, and I'll say NDC. Oh, and yes, serious political party cry. Magana, ya son kwedidi. And Kabaya Senka, or my penny that John Dramani Mokasai, or Bobo Mampeni, Ekufuado Abaso. If I Daniel, Naket Kasiebo, still live in Spain. And also in Chia, comma, Messinia brother Kings for the far or Barcelona, okay. Lily Johnson, and also, Mohammed near NDC near Edimguasi near. Michael Dakwa, and also John Mahama, Asanya Rio, Ekadonko, Errol. Utuofo nanso aswodin ti wo hu smoothness level Isaac dada pia wo de ani atemdie menkan gifty nana eno se eye pa se enipa anase abo ana honhoma e frɛ ne kama no wasa baga na biem na asemo esi 2013 ne bi esi bi ne pepepepepepepe we di kwaso nko mompani ma obegino chichi na ni ase kra e na adwen su osu wa wode wasema kokoto fa ho dance die bra so a ototo papa so afedie die ni di ntwen Apollo TV no see Adom FM. You guys are not serious cry no asa fefe ne se e di ato aso Apollo TV yate we serious you TV so cry maintain that
obo e di cry boy asa o promote no we frank I was skip here
oh that member tete Bible say mama ni nyini kabre ni dra oh man ehun hia dabi say ni pe tie ye no untimi nya ni nyina pepepe sa nti George Kase ena also de na anu ohye do mpacho me say atim di amenkan Peter Oseusu ose wonu amagana fo brew ena wasa begina ho no o se kasa se mu ikire no Kinzuberu ose Adom FM is the best it took kind we na ba ko ne ba no ankan na osusu wo ye bu attention dabi obi kaso wo ye best dia and ye open na nipa na
waso no o ye TV a wate ano nye no ni TV no so no wanye ho
ay TV enye radio de ti Adom Ambrose Ayipala eno say you can create your own news na Charles Akresi Prempe say enye no kre no openi wo kano openi enye no kre na wo kano NDC enye party for the people for young girls Ghana semini menka adwenkyere ni bi
na Corporal Dennis Sergeant Dennis Nkrumah police officer Bereku kamya to post so waso otie ya dendende sanhwe na ne ba Kwabena aka Nkrumah ena ye ne birthday nti Ark Memorial School otu Bereku ho no ko school ti ya wo hye no nti aka Kwabena Nkrumah o papa Dennis Nkrumah so show happy birthday sasuna
aka Ebenezer Nkrumah ni bia
abrante ba ko no so Adom TV your friend Maxwell Osu Yeboa Adom TV channel executive train novella dubbing director no Maxwell Osu Yeboa ono so ne ne birthday nti Maxi happy birthday nkoma ko so abadwuma ubadwuma ne mu ade ne hawo Maxi sister ne so ya offer maybe
yanyina we suni afakase ya de bra wona nwumre nyina ensi ya ya somo na sei ampofo Gemini
obri Yeboa Fenton
Kwam Kulenu ɛna afei shana kwa Aisha nom na boy achi domekuba so ka ho kwasi adwumani esamufo na afei esi ohene ne esamufo pani jeko na die ko Facebook streaming yen ma ja mapani dada mahama so nsem odi tudwa ne ɛno fa nsem no dodo na nanso yesebofo ne de ne nam ho apaso nyame adom ochena yaka mbia no ye de beba ababeso no sports pay 2 ɛna na writer enya nkola de bi na odi aboyi mask nya nkola ide bi na ade aboyi leze penifo do mo nketo awum wabubu aguzo enye otinu wani minisa right na bibia kokode